Hey, greetings everyone. It's Joe. Welcome to the scripture reflection for Friday, April the 7th, Good Friday, the day that we celebrate the death of Jesus. How can we celebrate a death? Well, we can celebrate this death, and there are good reasons why we can, but they have to have long-lasting goals attached to them. This is a marathon, not a sprint, as the saying goes. And I'd like to share some of those with you after we listen to today's reading. Today's reading is going to be from Hebrews chapter 4, verses 14 through 16, and chapter 5, verses 7 through 9. Brothers and sisters, since we have had a great high priest who has passed through the heavens, Jesus, the Son of God, let us hold fast to our confession. For we do not have a high priest who is unable to sympathize with our weaknesses, but one who has similarly been tested in every way, yet without sin. So let us confidently approach the throne of grace to receive mercy and to find grace for our timely for help. In the days when Christ was in the flesh, he offered prayers and supplications with loud cries and tears to the one who was able to save him from death, and he was heard because of his reverence. Son though he was, he learned obedience from what he suffered, and when he was made perfect, he became the source of eternal salvation for all who obey him. So, my friends, on this Good Friday, we listen to this reading from Hebrews, but of course, we usually listen to the Passion as well, the Passion being the death of Jesus, his arrest, his beatings that he endured, and then his crucifixion and death on the cross. Some very somber moments that we look at, and sometimes there is a kind of like a pull to going past the death of Jesus and to the resurrection. But we need to stay on today's events, because today's events have a dramatic effect, or can have a dramatic effect on us. This death is something that is really tough to listen to, isn't it? I remember as a young boy listening to the Passion and saying, why did this happen to Jesus? Why did this happen to him? How could they do this to such a good person? Interesting, isn't it? Because I think we all can share in that sentiment. I think we could all look at that and say, yes, I remember that, and I can relate to that even to today. So let me bring you to a very recent time where two dogs that lived here with me, Shelby Dwyer and Daniel the Beagle Dwyer, both unfortunately only a short time apart, endured a difficult sickness and then passed away. It was very difficult, not only for me and my family, but for many of you. Many people wrote to me and said, oh, this has affected me in such a dramatic way. This is so hard to deal with that they are no longer here with us. And I can relate, believe me, I can. And I know even today how much it hurts. Now, some of what I call my former friends might say, wait a minute, what is he doing? He's comparing the death of two dogs to Jesus? Yes, I am. I am. And here's why. Daniel and Shelby had two amazing characteristics. They were just so nice to be around. Sweet dispositions, beautiful personalities. And secondly, they spent their whole life reaching out to those in need. What an amazing similarity to Jesus, isn't it? What an amazing connection to Jesus, isn't it? For all of us are made in his image. All of us are created as he was. Through him, we are part of him, including our four-legged companions. And what then does this death mean? Well, this death means that we too should strive for the same place. A place where people will say about us, that was one good person to be around. And wow, they spent so much time reaching out to those in need. That's why the death had such an impact on Jesus for us, on Shelby and Daniel, for me and for you. And an impact that, yes, in the beginning was a little difficult to deal with. And it still is at times, and we know that. And we know that about any loved one that you can share those characteristics about. But then there's the positive part. The positive part which challenges and inspires all of us to be more like that. To be someone who people really do want to be around. People flock to Jesus. People flock to Daniel and to Shelby. They did so much for others, it was unbelievable. Jesus reached out to the marginalized, to those who were shunned by society. Shelby and Daniel did the same. Daniel to dogs and animals who were languishing in shelters. Shelby to people who were sick, who were shunned aside too. And therein lies a beautiful comparison, a beautiful story wrapped around an unfortunate death. One that we can all be inspired by, one that we can all learn from. So on this Good Friday, and it's usually a cloudy day, and it is here in the Northeast, reach above the clouds. Reach above the clouds to the sunshine, to the place where, yes, two things that we can do that are not so difficult. It doesn't require a degree. It doesn't require a lot of study or work. Just being somebody that people want to be around and reaching out to others. The challenge is there for me and for you on this Good Friday. Well, my friends, I wish you all a very holy and blessed Good Friday with a lot of meaning attached to it, and hopefully I brought you some in this reflection. I wish you all a wonderful day today, surrounded by loved ones, and I will see you back here on Sunday morning. Take care, everyone.